All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022, and of course, we just finished with Week 15 of the NFL, so it's only natural, it's only the right thing to go ahead and jump into Week 16 and go over our Week 16 NFL pick'em. Week 15, we went 10-6, so not the greatest record, but not the worst, kind of right in the middle, kind of a meh. We got a few games wrong, still picking things wrong. It's just not the best season for us. We're 124-94-2, I believe, or 128-94-2. Sorry, the record's a little bit confusing, but it's 128-94-2, and you'll see that at the end. So maybe we'll avoid 100 losses this year. Maybe we won't. It'll be kind of close this week. But hey, maybe we have a perfect week ahead. We're gonna go 16-0, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah. So anyway, before we get started right away on Week 16, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and make sure you leave your picks down below, your thoughts down below. I'll be sure to get back to those as soon as I can and as often as I can. You know, and I know it's annoying to include like, hey, leave a like, subscribe to the channel right at the beginning of the video, but it does help the video do better. It makes it perform better in the algorithm, helps it get more views, more interactions, all that like YouTube mumbo jumbo and, you know, stuff no one cares about. So I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much to anyone who has and everyone who subscribed and left comments. It helps the video and, you know, it's helped the channel out tremendously. Thank you very much. Let's just jump right into Week 16 now. We got 16 games to go over. Let's jump right into Thursday night. We have a decent game, actually. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New York Jets. The Jaguars are 6-8, coming off a 40-34 upset of the Dallas Cowboys. Great win for them. The Jets are off a 20-17 loss versus the Lions, which is, you know, Lions are one of the better teams in football right now, at least one of the hottest, and the Jets are dealing with like their offensive problems and yada yada yada. Jags are 1.5 point favorites with an over-under of 38.5, and as always, we include the lines from FanDuel. They're added after we make our picks, so you know I don't really know who's ever favored or who's, you know, what the lines are. I put those in there for everybody else. So anyway, yeah, I like the Jets in this one, mainly because I don't know how the Jaguars are going to react to what is a very good Jets defense. They shut down the Lions offense, and I wonder how they're going to shut down what is a, you know, the Jags offensive line isn't terrible, their offense isn't terrible, but I wonder how they're going to respond to a Jets defense that is particularly good at shutting down the pass and then eliminating the run game, especially if Quinnen Williams is healthy and ready to go. He almost played versus the Lions, but was like a last minute sit out. And with the Jaguars, I know they had that good win versus the Cowboys, but I wonder if the Cowboys were caught looking ahead again to their next opponent, which is the Eagles. So I'm wondering if like the Cowboys played kind of a worse game because of who their next opponent is. Could be one of them, you know. But again, it's not a shot at the Jaguars to say they might lose this game. I just wonder how good is the Jets defense heading into this game. They're probably, you know, we don't know how the Jags are going to respond to a defense like the Jets, because it's like, well, this is one of the better ones in football. The major question is, can the Jets offense do anything? And against a Jaguars defense that's been pretty porous, they'll probably actually find their offense a little bit more in sync and like in simpatico in this game. So I like the Jets to get a win at home with their defense on Thursday night. That kind of is like a recipe for, you know, Thursday night success. So give me the Jets in a pretty good game, 2014. Saturday football, Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy holidays to those who don't. Atlanta Falcons take on the Baltimore Ravens. Both teams are coming off of a loss, 21-18 to the Saints for the Falcons and 13-3 for the Browns. The Ravens are 7.5 point favorites with an over-under of 37.5. And basically, this game is easy to pick because number one rule, we don't pick the Falcons unless you have to pick the Falcons. And this is in a situation where you have to pick the Falcons. I don't know if they're going to be able to do much against this Ravens defense that's getting better and better and better as the year goes on. The Ravens offense will probably be able to find some kind of footing against the Falcons defense that isn't the greatest, especially compared to the Browns defense that's woken up. So pretty simple. I like the Ravens to win this game, even if they don't have Lamar Jackson back. I don't know if the Falcons defense can really do much here. Detroit takes on Carolina. This will be a fun game. The Lions, as we discussed, coming off a win versus the Jets. Carolina's coming off a loss versus the Steelers. It was 24-16. Panthers are 5-9 and still somehow alive in the NFC South, which has been one of the worst divisions, which is funny because the Falcons are still alive in the division too, so they're still in a race. But unfortunately for the Panthers, they're running into a team that's won 6 of their last 7. They're 6-1 in their last 7 games. That's an amazing run for the Lions, playing really good offense, playing pretty good defense. And yeah, I don't really know. I think Carolina is just running into a bad team to run into. I wonder how their defense is going to respond to the Lions offense after giving up 24 points to a Steelers offense that's not very good. Now you face one of the best offenses in football in the Detroit Lions, so that's a big problem. I also wonder how the Carolina offense is going to respond to what has become a pretty good Detroit pass rush with James Houston and Aiden Hutchinson. So watch out for the Lions to have a pretty good win here. Probably could blow them out if things go right, but never know. Carolina's been like a super inconsistent, streaky team this year. So, but again, I don't know if they have anything for the Lions offense. Here's a game. The Buffalo Bills take on the Chicago Bears. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites with an over-under of 40.5. Bills coming off a really good 32-29 win versus the Dolphins. Had a good playoff feel to it. And the Bears are coming off a 25-20 almost win versus the Eagles, or loss almost versus the, they almost beat the Eagles 25-20, but they came up just short. Again, I think the Eagles and both the Cowboys kind of got caught looking ahead, and the Bears weren't able to take advantage of that fully as the Eagles seemed to like refocus in on the game. The real question to me in this game is not if the Bills win this game, because they're going to win this game. They probably have no real answer to stop Josh Allen and their offense. This Bills defense is probably going to shut down the, Bears, somewhat decent offense. So the real question is, do the Bills win by 9+ points? And I think the question is probably pretty easily. So, well, here's two. The only reason this game has any intrigue is because every NFC South team is still alive, and the Saints are one of them. As we've discussed, Saints coming off a win, Browns coming off a win, so both teams are coming off W's. Browns are 3-point favorites with an over-under at 31.5. The Browns are the home team. The Browns defense the last few weeks has been really, really good. They've been like resurging and playing really good football as of late, and I kind of like what that means for this game. I think the Browns defense can kind of dominate and shut down this kind of inconsistent, streaky, kind of big play dependent Saints offense, and I think the Browns offense can do just enough against this sometimes good Saints defense, but I also think that the Browns could possibly run the score up if the run game is going and working really good, and the Saints just don't really have their defensive shoes. Plus the Saints tend to play a little bit better at home than they do on the road. So I like Cleveland outside with the defense, with the running game. It's going to be cold. It's December 24th. Seems like Cleveland will take this one in a pretty good defensive game. All right, Saturday games continued. We got Seattle taking on Kansas City. The Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites with an over-under of 48.5. Both teams, or well, at least the Chiefs are coming off a very close game with the Texans, 30-24. They won that game. The Seahawks coming off a 21-13 loss versus the Niners. The Niners' defense is just too good. The Seahawks will be able to stay in this game because the Chiefs' defenses are always kind of whatever. But ultimately, I don't know if the Seahawks' defense has enough to stop the Chiefs' offense that's been really good this year, kind of quietly really good. Mahomes is very quietly having like a really good season, and it's pretty nice to watch. But yeah, I don't know. Unless the Chiefs are like pulling punches and don't really want to get the 1 seed for some reason, maybe the Seahawks can win this game. I do think the Seahawks can cover that huge 10-point spread, but ultimately I just don't know if the Seahawks defense has enough to stop the Chiefs offense, because they can run the ball now with Pacheco, and they can throw the ball if they stop the run. So Seahawks might not have enough defensively to win that one. The New York Giants take on the Minnesota Vikings. This will be a pretty good game. The Vikings are 3.5-point favorites with an over-under of 47.5. Again, they're probably kind of still in it for the 1 seed, so they probably want to try to win these games, but they also maybe just be like, whatever. We got our division title. We're one of the 4 seeds. We host a playoff game. We're just trying not to get hurt. That's the Giants' best shot of winning this game, but again, I don't know. The Giants did get a nice win versus the Commanders 20-12, but again, if like the Giants defense doesn't have like a shutdown big time performance here this afternoon, it will kind of impact the way this game kind of plays out, because I just don't know if the Giants have like the offensive pieces to keep up with the Vikings if this game goes into like the 20 points. The Giants defense could probably shut down a lot of teams, but I just don't know if they can shut down this Vikings offense that's been really good all year. Plus, like, It should, you know what I mean? It's not even anything against the Giants. It's just like, if this game goes into the 20-point scores, do the Giants have enough firepower to win this game and stay in this game and be able to compete with a team like the Vikings, who can just score at will, seemingly anyway. So I don't know. I like the Vikings in this one at home, especially. Maybe if it was in New York, I'd go the other way, but give me the Vikings 24-20. This is my upset pick of the weekend. I don't have to explain this one very much, but it's the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the New England Patriots. I know I'm going to get this one wrong, but hey, let me enjoy my fantasy, right? We got to get revenge for whatever that play was against the Raiders. We don't have to talk about that play. It was a bad one. You know, sometimes people make mistakes, and the Patriots are going to avenge that mistake. They're off a 30-24 loss versus the Raiders, which stunk. And then there's the Bengals coming off a 34-23 beating of the Bucks. Bengals are favored by 3.5 with an over-under of 40.5. And basically, my only hope in this game is that the Patriots defense puts a number on the Bengals offense and completely shuts them down with, the pass rush. And because, the Bengals are a little better at rush blocking than they are pass blocking. So maybe Matthew Judon and Josh Uche have big games, like 7 sacks apiece, and the Patriots get a wild upset. Again, more than likely, I'm getting this game wrong, so I don't have much to provide an insight, but I do think the Patriots defense performs a masterclass and win this game for their offense, because God knows Matt Patricia's offense is not winning this one. But either way, I'll go with my Patriots getting the upset. Can't turn my back on them now. They need these wins, so. All right, the Houston Texans take on the Houston Texans take on the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are 5.5-point favorites with an over/under at 37.5. I don't know. The Texans are they just lost 30-24. The Titans are off a loss 17-14. Titans are collapsing quickly, and the AFC South lead is evaporating right before their eyes. A loss here and a win by the Jaguars would put the Titans, I think, in a tie. Maybe even the Jaguars would be in first. So I think the Titans are at a must-win at home versus a bad Texans team, so I like the Titans here. While I think the Texans have been playing somewhat decent football down the stretch, they still seem to be lacking like fundamental pieces to go and win a big clutch game like this. So I don't know, maybe next year when the Texans maybe fix up their defense just a little bit more, add a couple more pieces, they can probably win a game like this with their defense. But right now, as it stands anyway, once we know more about like the Titans with Ryan Tannehill, he should be good. But if he doesn't play, I might go with the Texans in a wild upset pick here. But for right now, I'm sticking with the Titans. If Ryan Tannehill doesn't play, this is an upset pick. We'll have to review this on Friday. Saturday football, the last 3 games, it's 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard. We have the Washington Commanders taking on the San Francisco 49ers, the battle of defenses. 49ers are 7.5-point favorites with an over-under at 39.5. 20-12, the Commanders are coming off a loss versus the Giants. The 49ers off a 21-13 win versus the Seahawks. Yeah, basically, I just don't really like the Commanders' offense going up against this fucking cracked 49ers defense that's pretty much responsible for 9 or 10 of their wins. So yeah, basically, I don't know if Taylor Heinicke and this struggling at pretty inconsistent kind of bad Commanders offense has enough to do anything against this 49ers defense that's shutting everybody down, like barely giving up any points in the second half, just completely evaporated the Seahawks offense. So. And again, the Seahawks have a better offense than the Commanders by quite a bit, and I don't know if the Seahawks or the Commanders will be able to do much against this very good 49ers defense. They may struggle themselves scoring against this Commanders defense, but I wouldn't be shocked if the 49ers put up a defensive touchdown or two. So give me the 49ers in a pretty good one. This is a game I'm not too sure about because I don't know if Jalen Hurts is playing, but based on everything, I don't think he's going to. So this is kind of how I see it. But if something changes between now and Friday, when we go over the games again on Friday evening, this and the Titans game will have to be reviewed. Anyway, so we have at 4:25 the other 4 o'clock game. It'll be the Eagles taking on the Cowboys. Really good game. Cowboys are 6-point favorites. It was like 1, but now it's all the way to 6 because of Jalen Hurts being out potentially. The Cowboys are 6-point favorites with an over/under of 46. Again, it's asterisk because we have to go over it. But right now, the division's on the line. The Eagles kind of just need to win this game, and they win the division. They're coming off a win. Cowboys off a loss. Cowboys will be at home. It's potentially going to be Gardner Minshew leading the Eagles, so it's really hard to pick them here with the scope and scale of the game, with all the tension, the way the Cowboys are going to be super ready for this game. I thought they were looking past the Jaguars to this game, so unfortunately for the Eagles, without Jalen Hurts, I don't think they can win this game. It would be quite the giant win for them this season if Minshew can slide in and win this game. But again, until we have 100% certainty that Hurts is or isn't playing, this one's kind of in the air. But right now, based on the news we know, Cowboys will win this game without Hurts playing. Congrats, Cowboys. All right. Oh, wow. Saturday Night Football. It's a game with zero care on it. The Raiders take on the Steelers. Steelers are 2.5-point favorites with an over-under of 39.5. We've gone over Raiders off a win, Steelers off a win. So both teams coming off wins. They're both 6-8. I don't know. I think the Raiders are a better team than the Steelers, but the Raiders had like a weird... I don't know what's wrong with the Raiders. They keep blowing leads and they're getting lucky wins at times, and I don't know. They're a little bit better than the Steelers at this point, so I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think the Steelers offense will probably struggle against the halfway decent Raiders defense, and the Steelers defense might struggle against the Raiders offense. That can be pretty potent. So, all right, Sunday Night Football. Merry Christmas for those who celebrate. 1 o'clock, we have 3 games to go over. It's the Green Bay Packers taking on the Miami Dolphins. Packers are coming off a 24-12 win versus the Rams. The Miami Dolphins a 32-29 loss versus the Bills, so they'll be trying to get it right, avenge themselves. Dolphins are 5.5-point favorites with an over-under of 47.5. Hold on a sec. Had to get a drink of water there. So anyway, looking at the Packers and Dolphins, basically, I think both teams will probably be able to score pretty easily, or not like too easily for the Packers because their offense is kind of meh, but they've been playing better in the last couple games, so that could help them heading into this one. But ultimately, I don't know if the Packers have enough offense to stay in this game with Miami, who can score a lot, especially against the Packers defense that just hasn't been that great this year. Miami's defense hasn't been great at all this year, or like really for the most part this year, but they're also going up against a really young offense now, so they could probably use that experience. Like, it's just one of them things where it's like, what offense do you trust a little bit more in a game where the defenses are going to be a little questionable? Probably the Dolphins right now. Not because it's against Aaron Rodgers or anything, but like, the Packers offense is pretty limited at this point in time. So give me the Dolphins at home. Who gives a shit? This is the great proxy war game between the Seahawks and Lions. As you know, the Broncos first round pick goes to the Seahawks, and the Rams first round pick goes to the Lions. Both of them are 4-10, so this is the great battle between the two teams. The Lions fans are rooting for the Broncos. Seahawks fans are rooting for the Rams to win a game because it would mean the Broncos get a better... hold on. The Lions fans are rooting for the Broncos. Seahawks fans are rooting for the Broncos to lose. Lions fans want the Seahawks or the Rams to lose. So Seattle wants the Rams to win, and Detroit wants Denver to win. Isn't that weird to think that Seattle fans are actually rooting for the Rams to win a game? Because if they do, that means Denver loses and they get a better draft pick. This is the fun part of this game. Either way, I'm not going to provide much more insight to this one. I got the Broncos winning 17-14 because as bad as the Broncos offense has been, their defense is actually pretty good. So I don't really see a bad Rams offense being able to do much against them. Give me the Broncos in a pretty easy one. I didn't even put Los Angeles. Oops. I forgot to put the Rams city name. All right, this is a pretty bad game. 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Bucks are 6-point favorites with an over/under of 41.5. Yeah, basically, I mean, they lost 24-15 to the Broncos. The Cardinals did. Even if the Buccaneers aren't playing good football, I think their defense, isn't getting much of a challenge in the Cardinals offense right now, and they could probably just win this game because the Cardinals just are having a miserable season, and it's falling away fast. Now they're kind of like in a position where they might just want to lose games for draft pick, get a better draft, just do better in the draft basically. So give me Tampa Bay in a game where the Arizona's probably not going to try much based on everything, how their season's going. Monday Night Football now. Let's jump right into it. Final one of the year. I don't think it's the final Monday Night Football, but anyway, it's the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Chargers are 3.5-point favorites with an over-under of 46.5. As we know, Chargers coming off a 17-14 win versus the Titans. Colts coming off a 39-36 loss versus the Vikings, in which they led 33-0. Pretty tough loss. So basically the Colts defense has been pretty bad lately. They're just giving up a bunch of points. Chargers are an offense that can score a lot of points. They're going to be ready. They're going to be trying to fight, keep their season alive, stay in the playoff race, keep that playoff seeding that they just got. I don't know. I just think the Chargers are a better team. Colts just don't really have an offense. They got lucky. I don't know. It's hard to pick a team that just blew a 33-0 lead to win. So give me the Chargers in a pretty straightforward game. All right, like I said, we're 128-94-2 overall, but it is what it is. 10-6 last week, so not too bad. Hopefully we have some luck this week and everything kind of carries over. But yeah, that's pretty much it here for week 16. So we got all the picks out of the way. Week 16 down the pipe, down the drains. It's all gone. Can't believe we're only 3 weeks away from the end of the regular season. It's kind of a depressing thing when you stop and think about it, but hey, at least it's been a pretty fun season, pretty unexpected. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here now before we get too long, another minute maybe left. So again, thank you so much for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your picks down below, leave your thoughts down below. I'll be sure to get back to those as soon as I can. What else? No, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much again for everything you've done to help out the channel this year. It's been fun. And that's pretty much it. Week 16 done. Hopefully, hopefully we have a good week. If not, it is what it is. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, night, morning, mid-afternoon, mid-evening, midday, that time between like 3 and 6 when it's not quite like afternoon, but it's not like night yet. Mid-afternoon? I don't know. Anyway, whenever you listen, have a good one. Peace out. Go Lions. Go Tigers. And of course, it's always go Patriots. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.